Hey guys, coming at you today with a delicious and fun keto candy treat. First in hopefully many recipes to come. Today some keto gummy bears. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, thanks for joining me. My name's Alycia. I'm a pastry chef with a sweet tooth, and now I own a keto gluten-free bakery. And I'm here to teach you all the tips and tricks on how to make the best keto recipes possible. So if you're not interested in all the tips and tricks, head down to the description box where there is a blog post link to the full recipe. But if you enjoy my recipes, please give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share it with all your friends and family. Doesn't cost you anything, but helps me out and helps me bring you new recipes every Saturday. Today, some gummy bears, or any shape gummy you want to make. And when I say the best recipes possible, I did not want to just have a stiffer jello tasting gummy bear. I wanted that chewy, stretchy, delicious gummy texture. So this is not just a jello packet in water or your favorite flavoring and gelatin. It's an actual delicious gummy bear. I started out this recipe with dino molds because my son loves dinosaurs, but I went out and bought some bear ones. These are ones I had already, and this came with a set of like heart shapes and ones I use for truffles. This is back from 2020 when I bought the set for one of my first chocolate videos I ever put out, but this is the size I wanted, and I kept getting the wrong size ones. So like, these are the dino ones I got. I didn't like how small these ones were. These ones are all tiny ones that I thought were these sizes, but I accidentally measured this size thinking that was the size I wanted. It was a mess. But I have a lot of molds now, and these ones I thought were a decent size, but they're huge. I made like hundreds of these little ones because so little goes in there. These ones are a little bit easier. And then these came with the gummy worms, which is why I kind of wanted it. So I love like Trolley's sour gummy worms and stuff like that, but you do need some kind of molds for these. I suppose you could just use an 8x8 and cut them into squares if you really want to, but one of the fun parts about gummy bears is having the gummy form. So I'm probably going to use these guys today, but there are a lot of options out there, and I'm sure I'll be using these for other things in the future, if not just dino ice cubes for my son. But to say I did just a couple of tests on these. I've been working on it for about 2 months in doing different ratios and trying to find the easiest way to make these. The last like 2 tests I didn't measure anything with a scale. I just did it to like ratios and stuff like that, and it turned out perfectly good. So that's what we're gonna do today. The nice thing is these all come with droppers. So I'm gonna make 4 different flavors today. So I need 4 different droppers, and I'm gonna keep them warm in a water bath. So I'm gonna get my back water turned on here just to be ready when we're ready. This really doesn't take very long to get all this put together. Ugh, my thermometer's sticky. I haven't tried doubling this yet. This is already a doubled of a single batch, so I haven't tried doubling this yet. But 2 cups of allulose in here should be about 210 to 220 grams if you have powdered. I have this powdered sweetener that I actually had to sift because it's so clumpy and like moist, so it continues to clump, but it's super light. So it's only like 100 grams per cup. 105 to 110. My granular allulose is usually about 160. So you'd only need about 1.5 cups if you have granular allulose. And this says powder, but it is definitely more granular than this one that is like almost moist. Like you can feel it in there. So this one's 160 grams per cup. This one's only 100. That's why it's hard for me to give you cup measurements. But if you're not sure how powdered your allulose is, just do 220 grams. To that, we're adding 2 tablespoons of water. Pretty sure this is like 1/4 cup, which would be 2 tablespoons. So that's what I'm doing, and just putting it around the edge and getting it on the heat. I'm just gonna turn it on low. You can have this pretty kicked up. We're cooking it to 280 degrees. But I wanna talk about everything else that we need for this. So to flavor the gummies, I watched a lot of videos, and a lot of them used candy flavorings, which are these here. I did end up buying some just because I know I'm gonna be doing other candies in the coming months, year, whatever, so I'll be using these. But I haven't even used those for anything. I've been doing these Stir, which are just fruit juice and stevia. I've tested my glucose drinking these and everything, and it's fine. It's a half teaspoon is 1 carb. We're gonna use a whole tablespoon, which would be 6 carbs, for half of this batch. So we're gonna split this into 2 and do 2 different flavors. I'm gonna do 4 all together. I like these because allulose isn't as sweet as sugar. So if I was to just do allulose and these flavorings, I wouldn't be able to taste them very much because of the lack of sweetness from allulose, especially in like gummy bear form. You need quite a bit of sweetness in order to taste like a gummy bear. I don't know, it might be fine for anybody else, but for me, I even had to add some liquid stevia to some of these flavorings to this. I do suggest once it cools down, it'll be able to be like kind of tasted before it completely sets. So you can kind of dial in the sweetness you want for these gummies. It is going to be less sweet when it's completely solid because you are going to taste it warm. And when things cool down a little bit, they get less sweet, less flavorful. Definitely keep that in mind. So I do have some liquid stevia here in case we need it for any of our flavors. I found that this strawberry watermelon was the least sweet out of all of them, and you couldn't really taste the watermelon. So that's the only one that I might add like a drop of the flavoring to. But they're very simple ingredients, just fruit and flavor blend, natural flavor, white grape juice, strawberry juice, watermelon juice, purified water, citric acid, vegetable juice for color. So there's no like dyes or anything in this. It's just all natural colors. And I got some Wilton natural colors here to make them a little bit more appealing. Just keep kind of swirling it around, trying to get all the allulose melted in there. You might have to turn it down a little bit. I'm actually gonna turn it up. I have it down real low. So then other than that, the only other thing that I did add to some was a packet of crystalled lemon, which I think it tasted good in some of them, like it enhanced the flavor of some, and others it overpowered. Like I did try strawberry watermelon and I put a packet of the lemon in there, and all I tasted was lemon. Like I said, this one I feel like isn't very strong. So be careful with how much you add and which ones you add it to. Like I have strawberry watermelon, fruit punch, blue and blackberry I feel like is the one that tasted best with the lemon in it, and then tropical punch. Now last but not least, you're gonna need containers to put all these liquids in. All the videos I watched, they had the special like squeezy bottles. I didn't want more bottles. I have bottles that I've bought and that I hate that are just sitting around here. I just use containers and a shallow pan of water to keep everything warm in. And these little droppers work really good for using those instead of having to squirt it out of the bottle. Okay, I'm turning it down now because it got crazy. Okay, I'm gonna set that over there for a minute because we still have to get our gelatin. I almost forgot. So I'm using beef gelatin here. So unflavored Knox gelatin might set differently. I did not try it with the unflavored this time. But this is Now brand beef gelatin. You need 6 tablespoons, which is 60 grams, 5, and then a half cup of cold water. And I thought this was weird, but I watched Claire and Duff making gummies and they both did it like this. So half cup of cold water in with your gelatin and mix it up until it's not super clumpy anymore and really thick. Those are the only ingredients. We'll do yellow and green. We're gonna make the watermelon green. There's your gelatin all thick in there. You need a towel, you're gonna put this over here, add that to that. 280. And if your allulose isn't as powdered as mine, it probably won't even get colored really. This one is yellow like as soon as it's melted. It's crazy. Gelatin right in. Now most recipes called for corn syrup at this point too, but because we don't have real corn syrup, we don't need it. I was doing it for a while, but I didn't see much of a added benefit of putting the corn syrup in there. I just ended up cooking this syrup a little bit less because most recipes call for cooking your sugar to the softball stage, and allulose doesn't really get to the softball stage like it does maybe at like 320, 300, something like that. So I kind of split the difference between our corn syrup, which is 260, and 300 for softball stage. Okay, that's all set to go. Now you need your containers. Move this up. You're gonna put about 175 milliliter into each one. It's already starting to get gloopy as soon as it cools. But this is like the easiest way I found to do it for sure. And you are still probably gonna get sticky and stuff everywhere, but it's definitely the easiest way. Okay, so we're at 350. The problem is I'm not left-handed pourer here. 350 down to 175. It's 200. Kind of put them next to each other too. That's why I like measuring on a scale, just because it's so much easier to see the number instead of having to like bend down or try to figure it on a, you know, have it up to your eye. Okay, at this point we can put them in the water bath. Keep them warm. So 1 tablespoon of each flavor. Now, I don't think the tropical needed any extra sweetness. I think the watermelon needed a little bit more flavor. I wanted to try these guys, see how they work. I did add like a half teaspoon of strawberry extract to that one in one of my tests. Water, oil, ingredient list, a bunch of just abbreviations. Oh, this one has maltitol in it. That's why I like just using those, but do 1 drop strawberry. At this point, it shouldn't be super hot. Definitely more watermelon-y. That's good. So I'm gonna make the watermelon green and put a little bit more yellow in the tropical. And some of them foam a lot and some of them don't. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just whatever fruit, because like this one doesn't have as much foam as that one does. I don't know why. Oh, I did green and yellow. I don't like tropical. Okay, a little bit more green in this guy, and then we'll get my pot cleaned and I'll get the next batch going. There we go. We'll just get going on these 2 here. But one of the main things, if you care, I mean, it's just gonna make the backs of your bears not exactly pretty looking, like there's gonna be bubbles and stuff on the back of your bears if you don't take off this frothy layer at the top. I feel like as it sits, more will come up to the surface. That's why I like using the droppers though, instead of the squeezy bottles, because I can put it in and suck up from the bottom. These bears take like a full dropper, and if you end up with any air bubbles, they will stay in there, so gotta be careful. So you don't really have to worry about that layer on top if you're using all the droppers. Green ones. You can get really fancy with doing these. Definitely check out Duff, and I'll link another guy down below. He had an immersion circulator, a sous vide machine, and warm water, and all his bottles in there to keep everything warm and flowing. I'm gonna get another batch going, get the 2 other flavors, and then we'll have some fun. Okay, and we're back with 4 flavors. You see I put a little bit of lemon in this one. Tastes delicious, nice and sweet. Now it's time to have some fun and make a bunch of different gummy bears and some worms. So I made this guy purple. Try to pop the bubbles. If you let them cool and solidify a little bit out of the hot water, it's better to make double colored worms. So I'm gonna leave that one to the side for a minute and do these guys next. Fruit punch. Okay, I'm gonna leave those 2 out to do some gummy bears in a minute, or gummy worms I should say. Once it like solidifies, you can like just like go under it. So it'd probably be better to not even do these right away and just wait for it to kind of settle. That way you get less of the foam on there. Start up at the top. About halfway. My 2 favorite are the fruit punch and the berry, so I'm gonna do those guys. And once these harden, you can do another layer on top. Kind of use it to push it. And do some big ones. My son got a kick out of the worms. Some red and green ones. Okay, let those solidify for a little bit. Gotta fill the rest of the molds, gotta use it all up. And we'll be back when we can fill up our worms some more. I'm gonna have to wipe down all my camera equipment. Everything is so sticky. Okay, add another layer of purple and red. It's getting real thick now, so I haven't had it back on the water at all, so it's just getting thick. Okay, just a little bit of fruit punch in there. So if you make just as much as I did, it's gonna be 24 grams of carbs, but just weigh all of the gummies you make and divide the batch by 24 if you only want it 1 carb each, or 12 if you want 2 carbs each, so on and so forth. So sort of fruit punch and watermelon. I don't remember what we did there. Did we do the fruit punch? I don't remember. The only thing about not using vibrant colors is it's hard to tell what colors are what. No dye for my boy or my niece. Looks good. Just need to fill in the watermelon. It kind of, when it like cools down, it goes like up the dropper. I know, I'm sure there's a scientific word for that. Okay, just a little bit of purple down here. Starting to get thick. So if you get to this point and you still have gummies to do, you put it back in the water. Mostly just the foam left though on top now. A little more in there. You can probably say that it's less than 24 carbs because you definitely don't use all of it. It's very sticky and messy. Yeah, it's everywhere. So there's one full tray. Let me finish up these guys. See, we did watermelon. Oh, this is all tropical. Tropical and fruit punch I thought would taste good together. It's funny because that watermelon strawberry, the juice actually smells and tastes like watermelon. That extract tastes like candy watermelon. Sticky mess. I think we're about done. Sticky everywhere. But we're making gummies, our own homemade gummies, so it is what it is. He's got it set for like maybe an hour at room temperature and we can pop them all out. I think they're best 1 day drying at room temperature. They're like the best consistency. So we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow to give them all a try, but we'll pop them out soon. Okay, our first ones that we did are ready to go. I don't even think it's been that long. Just pop them out. They should pop right out. You got little gummy bears. So I just let them dry like this, nothing on them, like not covered or anything, for about a day. And you'll have some gummy bears. I mean, they're good now too, but they're not as stiff as they will be and they get a little bit more dried out. They're gooey. Woo. You stand up too. Tropical watermelon. Love it, no greasing required. These are pretty indestructible. Oh, apparently that one's not ready. Ooh, fruit punch. They'll come away when they're ready. Now you'll have some kind of gummy sweet treat for Easter time. They do like to stick to themselves, so don't touch them with each other yet. I don't think these worms are going to be ready yet. Not quite. But I'll meet you back here tomorrow. They're just going to all chill on here in the open air until tomorrow we can taste them. Cleanup wise, super hot water, and try to get anything that you can like out of the containers into the garbage can before trying to soak them in water. And don't let them soak too long in hot water because the hot water will eventually cool down and just re-solidify the mixture. I do suggest a kitchen faucet sprayer. They are amazing, but not everyone can have those. Okay, it is the next day. It hasn't been quite 24 hours, but they're a good texture. I think it's because it's colder down here. It's like 60 degrees. So you can leave them in the refrigerator overnight. A lot of the recipes I watched on YouTube said to put them in the fridge overnight, but these are all our gummy bears. They're so cute. Our gummy worms. So they're like a little bit tacky, but they don't stick to each other, which is nice. But they're like super stretchy. And they taste like a gummy worm, a gummy bear. And that berry is so good. So I do get those stir on Amazon, so I'll have them linked below. I subscribe and save to the electrolyte ones. The flavored ones I use for my son. We just do, we call it juice. It's one little tiny squirt in like a big glass of water. I love the fruit punch and the berry. It's delicious. Now, my real favorite thing is sour. So I'll put down here the ratio. I use granular erythritol and citric acid. So this is what I've been doing with mine. I'll do a fruit punch and a watermelon. Can get coated. So once they're all done like this, you can throw them in Ziploc baggies or into like airtight container. I have some upstairs from like a month ago. Sour watermelon. I love sour gummies. My ultimate favorite is Sour Patch Kids. So that might be the next one I do. I'm not sure yet, but there's a lot on my list. I mean, jelly beans, Sour Patch Kids, Starburst, Laffy Taffy. My biggest weakness was cherry Laffy Taffy. I'm excited to take this journey. It'll probably take me all year, but I'm excited to dive into this. And the perfect like bouncy texture. So I hope you guys enjoy this recipe and give it a try for yourself and have some fun figuring out different flavors and getting different molds and stuff like that just in time for Easter. So maybe you can have a little gummy sweet treat when there's all the jelly beans and candy around you. I know I'll definitely be having some sour gummy worms on hand. Don't forget to check out my Amazon shop page. The link will be down in the description box below. I'll have everything linked that I used in this video, along with the blog link to the full recipe. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always I'll be back with many more keto, low carb, healthy meals, desserts, and snack recipes. Bye guys! Happy keto gummy making!